He's back. And that is all right, and that is some very awkward intro Easter music right there. And that's intro, that's Easter. Because it's Easter. Think about it. Dude, I can look at on Easter, I'll tell you this here. If I even on Easter now, when I hear even somebody crack an egg in the morning, you hear them crack that egg and you think, oh man, what? And that's Jesus, brother. And then what is that? Is that an omelet? What is that? And that's Jesus. Is that a crepe? That's Jesus crepes. Because you get that, you just in your brain, in my brain, I get that feeling that Jesus is in the air, baby. Because Jesus, look, he's that beautiful burglar, and he'll break right into your heart if you let him. And he can be, look, different people have different Jesuses in their life. You could have a different, your Jesus may have a different name, a different shape. Your Jesus may he may have a damn dream catcher around his neck, and he may have a couple tattoos on his arm. He may be in a full body cast, or he may have a knee brace on because he's been playing basketball on his lunch break and he hurt himself a little bit. But however he is, he could break right into your heart. And that's how it goes on Easter. And that's what that music right there, that is called The Stories Time Tells. More Than Family. That's what that little ditty is. And honestly, I thought the music was pretty bad. I thought it was gonna be better. But welcome to this past weekend. Thank you guys. Man, I'm down here in Baton Rouge. Let me make sure this camera's on. I'm down here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana at my brother's house. And just got done doing a fort with the children. And that fort, man, you remember when you were young, that fort was everything. Man, we building a fort. You got to stay over tonight. We building a damn fort. And your buddy would be like, huh? And you'd be like, fuck you, buddy. We building a fort. Everybody I knew was a general contractor when it's fort time. You could tie anything into a fort. You tie a lamp in, you tie a sheet to a lamp, make a tall dog. If you had like a little poodle, make him stand there in the corner and tie a sheet around his neck. He's got to hold a corner. Everybody's got to hold a corner. And then you had your little, maybe you'd have a plant pot, and you'd put one corner of the sheet under that, and then another. And then you get another sheet, a blanket. Everything in the house goes into making the fort. And then you get up in that bastard and you all lonely. And I'm like, damn, man, this is probably what it's like one day if you don't get married and don't have any, don't have any family. But anyhow, happy Easter to you. And I hope it was a beautiful day. I'm down here at my brother's. I'm in the living room down here in Baton Rouge. And Man, we had a nice time watching the children. The children was all out here. And one of the children ain't even brushing their teeth very much. And so he already lost a couple damn teeth. So, But that's the Lord, brother. And the Lord will let you into his heart even if you have no teeth. Think about that. That's what you got to think, man. That faith, that welcoming feel of faith, that long arm of faith will open the door for even the toothless. Because most of us will let almost anybody in the house that looks thirsty. But if they don't have that grill, they don't have at least a couple of chicletas in their mouth, bruh, then we shut it down for them, And there's just something about that grill that really, it's almost like a handshake in your mouth. If somebody have that grill, they have that first element of introduction, of comfortable introduction. But that's when you know that Jesus got a big old heart because he even loved the toothless. What's up? I'm down here in Louisiana. I came down here. I went over to Dustin Poirier's and I saw the strap. Dude, it was cool. It was cool to go see that belt, and he's got that piece, And then I spent the rest of the time with family and friends. My stepmom, I used to live with a family when I was growing up, and the mom kind of bit the dust the other day. She, I think, was jacked up on a couple of Quaaludes or something, and she bit the dust at the Easter party, and she had to hit the hospital. But she's all good. She came back and still downed a couple cupcakes and a ginger ale. So, I mean, fuck. We in business, son. And what else, man? I hung out here. Went to church this morning, dude. It was cold. And one thing I realized about myself is I'm down for I'm DFTL. I'm down for the Lord, but it was really cold in there, and I was like, I don't know if I could stay in here. I like my God. I like a room temperature God, I think. I like a room temperature higher power. I like my higher power at room temperature. And it was real cold in there. I said, man, it's going to be, I think God, and God knows I want that room temperature deity. So, but we had a good time, and we just did Easter stuff today. They had a jumpy house for the children, and somebody urinated in there, and that's usually a buzzkill. But down here in South Louisiana, dude, that just means, fuck, you got to jump around it. That's what the kids said. And dude, when they saying you got to jump around the urine in the jumpy house, that's some real, that's some real children right there. Because you get that much urine airborne in that jumpy house, and that thing is turning into a damn, that's like a swingers thing. And I got stuck at this swingers deal one time, and they had a bunch of people, they took the light bulb out of the elevator at nighttime at this hotel, and they were all in there touching each other, and I don't even know, Jesus. But I took the stairs the next morning for the breakfast bar, that's for sure. What else, man? What else is going on? Not much down here. Just very peaceful. Peaceful time down here. Easter weekend. A lot of joy in the air. You see a lot of people. It's almost like it's like that baby Christmas. And you got that rabbit, and you got diabetes. Everybody trying to sneak a Snicker. And that's how it always has been. When I was young, man, you get a little bit of chocolate, or you get, we used to have this dude in our neighborhood named Big Roy. And he was, he was allegedly, a homosexual, homeowner. They used to call him homeowners. And he's a beautiful fella, beautiful hair. I remember that. Damn, he had about 4 feet of hair just stacked into 1 foot on his head. And his hair would just it's almost like he could play a flute like a snake flute. You ever seen those snake flutes on the internet where the guy plays it and they have a snake? Well, he could play a flute and his hair would just kind of tighten itself up and really just kind of hold on to each other. His hair was like a damn just gangbang up there, and all the follicles were just wrapped up in each other's arms, and who knows what they were doing, hair fucking. But anyway, what am I talking about? But anyway, I think he was I remember one time he got some. It was Easter, and he got some eggs that had this a little bit of creme in them. And creme is the kind of stuff, man. It's something it's kind of perverted, I think. It's supposed to, I don't know what it is, hell, but they hide it. It's kind of like a sweet juice that they hide inside of things. You might get a donut have a little bit of creme in it. You might get a little. He got these Cadbury eggs, these British eggs, and these bitches was real royal looking. They wrapped them in like this royal foil, and it looked like it looked like damn, Winston Churchill himself, fucking, like Winston Churchill's Hill chicken had hatched this bitch. This was a beautiful egg. It was wrapped in like a delicate foil. And you got that egg and you cracked that thing open. When you bit into it, it had this creme that would, drip out of your damn mouth, bro. So if you wasn't trying to meet a man, but if you had one of them eggs, boy, it was easy. Suddenly men were trying to meet you because that creme would leak out of the side of your mouth. Like that creme was just up to no good. And it wanted to just party, and you were trying to keep it inside of your face, and that creme really wanted to party. But I remember that, and I remember watching him eat them. And he was a little older than me, and he got a sack of them for Easter. One year, he got about maybe 7 of these Cadburys, these little British chocolate just hitters, man. Just look like nut. It looked like a big nut off a damn gay dolphin or something. And Big Roy just made me watch him eat all 6 of them. And I'm like, damn, bro, I don't know what's going on. But I didn't, I didn't masturbate or anything like that. I just, went on about the rest of my day. It was just Easter. So, but anyway, yeah, that's it, man. That's it. That's really what's going on. And where did we leave off the last episode? I was talking a little bit about, well, I don't want to get into that. I talked about how, the escort thing in Vegas. I don't want to not get into it. I'll get into it at a different time because I'm here. It's Easter. And today I want to talk about, I don't know what I want to talk about. Well, what's been going on? We know as always that this episode is brought to you by Gray Block Pizza. You know that. And that's at 1811 Pico Blvd in Los Angeles on the way to the beach. If you're not sure what's in your mouth, then maybe you should do a little bit of check. Run a cheese check. Run a crust bust. See what kind of things are milling around in and outside of your orifices. Because I'll tell you this. If you find cheese when you cheese check, you find crust when you crust bust, then you might have Gray Block Pizza. Get that hitter. And we had a couple of people that called in actually with Gray Block ads because you guys wanted to try some of them. So let's hear one right here.
This episode of this podcast is brought to you by Gray Block Pizza. It's like you ever been down near the beach, thinking like, hey, I think that it's a pretty good time for some pizza. Well, it's Gray Block. It's right there. It's by the beach. And, they got hitters and pepperoni and shit. Like, I shouldn't swear. Sorry, it's a podcast. Episode 692 brought to you by the pizza from Gray Block. It's by the beach. Bring your towel, sunscreen. It's pretty hot in California.
There you go. And that's one young fella sent that in. And we'll play one more that came in. This is just a funny thing. A couple people hit him onto the hotline, which is always 985-664-9503. Let's get that extra Gray Block.
This is Ricky, and this is my read for the Gray Block Pizza.
Oh, sweet Ricky, and you could hear he got a little bit of that creme on his voice, baby. You know what I'm saying? He got that diabetic drip, that little sugar squirt coming off the edge of him, and that sweet Ricky. Onward, brother.
Gang, gang! This episode is brought to you by Gray Block Pizza in sunny Santa Monica on Pico Blvd, right across the street from SMC, that's Santa Monica College. If you're in school, come take a break and get some pizza. Or you can pretend to go to school and instead come to Gray Block Pizza and get that pizza education. Either way, with or without school, come get that hitter.
Sweet Ricky coming in, dripping right into your ears, man. Right out of his mouth with that sugar creme right there. Thank you guys for sending those in, man. I appreciate it. What else? I'm just trying to think of what else is going on. You know, I had a nice time at church. I get nervous sometimes when I go to church. I don't go often. You know, sometimes once in a while I'll go in L.A. I mean, I do go to, you know, a lot of 12-step meetings, and for me that is a little bit more of, or that's not my higher power, but it's where through 12-step I'm more easy to access my higher power. But in church, sometimes the songs people will start singing. And sometimes I want to raise my hands up like and really feel the Lord. Because you can do that reach, baby, 2 arms up. You know, like it's basically like in football, somebody just scored a touchdown. You put 2 arms up and then you turn the hands forward. And that's just letting the Lord know, hey, stop right here because I need you, you know? And sometimes because I like the songs, I like the music. But they got 9, these days, a lot of churches, they got that 9-piece band up there. You know, they got a 9-piece with 2 side items. And they got the drummer, and he's in like this damn aquarium. Like, what the fuck did he do? You know, and you could go up and throw some fish food at him. They throw it every couple hours, somebody will come out and shake a sardine, and he'll jump in the air. And they sell tickets to that. But they got him in this damn cage. Some of it's just too crazy. Some of them, I wish at church they had a little bit more just that man with the guitar. That's simple. Just one fell up there with a freaking, you know, with a bruised soul and a lot on his mind. Because I wonder if you could feel that connection a little bit more. If you had somebody come in and play a song that really just spoke their troubles or their struggles. I wonder if people could relate in that sense more. Because that's what the Lord is. The Lord is that big ointment. Dude, if you're struggling, boy, you reach up to the sky and you get a scoop of the Lord and put that right in your heart. And that'll usually help. But sometimes when I'm in church, I want to sing and put my hands up, but I don't. I get scared, and then I just sometimes I'll put them right by my chest and just that's about it. But not any higher. I won't go above my shoulders, you know? But because there's something that feels real like religious. When you put your hands up in the air, it feels real religious to me. And when you keep them down like shoulders are under, it feels like secretly religious, you know? But what else? I don't know, man. I'll tell you this. I had an opportunity to do a television project. Somebody offered me a TV project because people are always sending me messages. Hey, man, when you going to do a Netflix special? When you going to do this? When you going to do that? And I think about some of it, but some of it I don't know what I want to do. And I don't want to hurry up and make a choice or choose something that I don't know, where I'm not sure, you know? And sometimes, honestly, I have like a chip on my shoulder against Hollywood. You know, I don't want to do sometimes stuff they want me to do. Or I don't want to, you know, I don't know. I don't feel like I feel like there's more power in owning your own stuff and doing your own thing. I don't want somebody to own me. That's part of it. You know, I really don't want somebody to own me. You know, I've talked about this before. They talk about, you know, they had that guy from Boston, Bill Cosby show, and not the sexual abuser. They had that other man, Winston or whatever his name was, and he did he was Sonia's husband, and somebody caught a picture of him like 6 months ago doing groceries, doing produce and everything over there, stacking yams at a Trader Joe's, and they made fun of him and stuff. But I was thinking, why this guy was a television star? You know, this guy was on probably 50 episodes of that show, of Cosby Show, when I was growing up. And Winston out here fucking checking fresh peaches. But at the same time, his show's still on somewhere. Like, it just made me, I don't like ownership. It makes me uncomfortable. So I think, I turned down this opportunity that I had because I'm just not sure. And I don't want to, if I do something, I want to do something that I want to do. And I could be wrong. I mean, I could have messed up. But I don't know. I was just trying to trust my instincts. And sometimes it's hard to know what your instincts are. That's hard for me sometimes. It's hard to know sometimes what your instincts are. But yeah, anyway, it made me think that somebody owned that Cosby guy. Somebody owned him. I don't want that for me. And I may have to have it at some point, but I'm going to try and be selective about it, or I don't know. And as far as Netflix special goes, we might do one sometime. We'll see. Part of me thinks about just taping some stuff and just putting the clips on the YouTube. That way I still own my stuff. I still own my content. I still own my stories in my world. That way one day my children, if I have children, or my dog, if I have a dog, they'll still own that. It'll be my own stuff. I don't know. I don't know, man. I've always felt uncomfortable about somebody. I don't like doing stuff I like to do my own thing. I like to do my own thing. And sometimes it's good because, it keeps me kind of self-motivated, but sometimes it makes it tough for me to work with others. And sometimes I think, I've talked about this a little bit. I think the reason why I like doing my own thing is, or I don't like working with others. I don't know if it's that I don't like to share. I don't think that's it. I think, I don't know. For one, I'm just used to doing things on my own. And so it must be a trust thing at some level inside of myself. I don't want to trust. I know if I do things myself, at least whether they go well or go poorly, at least I didn't have to enter into a trusting agreement with somebody else. At least then it's only me. I can only help myself. I can only hurt myself. But I don't have to worry about letting somebody else, I don't have to worry about letting somebody else potentially hurt me. So then I might lose out on the opportunity for somebody to help me. But as long as somebody can't hurt me, it's like I'm willing to take that chance. So if I do things myself, then somebody might not have the opportunity to help me because I'm not going to partner up with them, but they're not going to have the opportunity to hurt me or to take advantage of me either. I think anyway, I don't know. It's kind of thinking out loud. Yeah, it's nice to see my sibling, my nieces and everything now. Real nice. I'm really blessed to have, just healthy children in our family. When I see these kids and I see, I have 5 nieces and nephews, and today they're playing and they, even they're jumping around the piss in the blow house or whatever it's called, the jump house. And we never got a jump house, dude. I remember we used to, when somebody would do a ditch fire, a lot of times in our street, people would do ditch fires. And we played this game called Dirty Bandits, where we'd put water on our bodies and jump through the dark smoke a bunch until we were just totally like just these dark creatures kind of. And it was fun. And you would just try to see if you could get the smoke all over your body. And that shit, but it would get in like the crevasses of your neck and behind your ears. And it was, you had that very, it often looked like you crawled up from literally Middle Earth. When we got home, my mom would beat the shit out of us. And I don't blame her. You roll into a house with that much smoke on you, and smoke is really, I mean, if fire is the devil's breath, then smoke is just must just be the remnants of his ideas. So you roll in with that, that smoky, that seasoning, basically, just all covered in smoke dirt. And you tell your mom we've been playing Dirty Bandits, and she would beat the fuck out of it. I mean, she would. This is back when you could beat your kid's ass and still love them. Now it's like people are kind of choosing one or the other. When I was young, you got your ass beat, but you were still loved, and dearly loved too, man. And that was a different time. What else? I went to eat with my, this family I lived with in high school. I went to eat with them, and it was nice, man. We had a good time. I realized a lot, just like, I don't know, I haven't been home in a bit, and things change. People get older. One of my nieces is like older now, and she's talking about like drama at school. And the last time I saw her, she was talking about like, different color pencils. And yeah, like one of someone in my life can't hear as well as they used to, or somebody can't, they're a little more slower, or they're a little, I don't know. It's just weird how things, how life changes. It starts to get a little spooky. You're like, damn, life's just going. Life's just going, man. It's got that wildness to it. It's really a stray animal, isn't it? Man, what do we even know about it sometimes? Life is almost like Bigfoot. It's like we only have a couple of kind of ideas of it, or images, or grasp time, the movement of time. It's so mysterious. And we're out here just piggybacking onto it for just a moment. Just a moment. But anyway, I'm not going to go into a deep episode today, but because I have it's Easter, man. I got to go to sleep. I got to edit this thing and get it together. But I do want to say that, there's a couple things. We'll go into a couple calls. I got to tell you a couple other things, though. If your crotch is really wild and getting, you got to do spring cleaning. And some people, they'll do their sideburns, or they get a Q-tip, or borrow a Q-tip, or a piece of cotton and like a popsicle stick from the neighbor or something. And they'll clean out their ears, or clean out that back shaft behind their ears, or whatever. Or they'll run a hot rag up through a crack. But what I'm talking about is Manscaped. And support for this past weekend comes from Manscaped, who is #1 in men's below-the-belt grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for manscaping with the right tool for the right job. Some people think your crotch is going to take care of itself. Well, that's absolutely dumb, brother. Nobody have that self-taking care of crotch unless they were in a fire or something. So you need to tend to the hair around your wiener and sack and air and ball area. What I'm saying is that Manscaped can help. If you've ever nicked your nuts with a little, some people like to use a regular razor or maybe a scalpel to try to trim the hair around their nuts. Those people are not wise. They would not be the type of people that would give gifts to a baby in a crib in the desert and follow the North Star, because those would be not wise people. But with Manscaped, things are different. Manscaped offers the Lawnmower 2.0, which features quiet stroke technology, which we've all used if we've ever tried to touch ourselves, when we were young and somebody was sleeping, on the bed next to us, or or you were in like one of those little detention centers at school when you had that little cubicle. You're trying to quietly be by yourself and also be sexy. The Lawnmower 2.0 features quiet stroke technology. It's terrifying to trim your balls when the trimmer sounds like a chainsaw. But the Lawnmower 2.0 is so quiet it gives you confidence to trim the most sensitive of areas. It's perfect for travel. It's small, so it fits in your travel bag. It has a convenient USB charger, and it's TSA approved. If the lady at TSA say, "What is that?" you say, "That's that Manscaper, baby. Because I am going to dandy up my newts." It features replaceable trimmer blades that helps your trimmer stay hygienic and prevents manscaping accidents. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code Theo, Theo, at manscaped.com. Again, get 20% off, free shipping, and a travel bag with the code THEO at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping and a travel bag at manscaped.com and use code THEO. Let's get into a couple of calls here that have come in. I appreciate you guys hitting the hotline as always, 985-664-9503. Here we go.
Hey, Theo, this is Dana Finkley calling. Hey, man, you answered my phone call.
Thank you for calling, brother. I appreciate you calling. I couldn't hear your name because you're fast. You talk quick. But I'm glad you talk quick, man, because it keeps my ears, you're really challenging my ears. Some people, they slow talking, my ears they barely have to do anything. So I appreciate you engaging. Onward.
On the podcast, Don't Move to Portland, and you wished
Okay, we had you on the podcast, Don't Move to Portland. I hear what you're saying. Okay, onward.
Life has a new experience for me, man. And on the podcast, Don't Move to Portland, and you wished that life has a new experience for me, man. And it really has. Since then, I've gotten my license back. I just got back into school. I'm throwing a fundraiser the day before my birthday. I got a lot of good things going on. I just want to thank you, man. You wished that into the world for me, and it truly happened.
Oh, man. Well, I appreciate the call, man. Thank yourself. Thank yourself. That's sweet of you, and you're welcome. But thank yourself. You get out there and, man, it's what we do for ourselves, and in the end, really, it's what we do for others that makes us feel good. But, man, when you said, yeah, you're doing a little fundraiser before your birthday, what a gift. What a gift on your birthday to give something to somebody else. Do something special for someone else. I love it, man. I'm realizing more and more that even as funny as we get disconnected, as humans get disconnected, how the value of human connection is so. There's just nothing like it. There's nothing like when you connect with somebody else. It's funny. I was at a meeting this weekend. I went to a 12-step meeting, and I don't know if I can talk about this, but a woman, there was somebody talking about they couldn't. Somebody was upset because I think I have to keep whatever they talk about in there. So I can't share that. But I'll get back into our calls, and thank you for the call. Let's hit this one. Here we go. 985-664-9503.
Theo, gang. This is Josh from Virginia calling.
Josh from Virginia. In Virginia, man, if you want to do some tobacco and fucking be in a Civil War reenactment, that's the place to go. If you want to put a plug of that, that ginger. If you want to put a plug of that ginger snap in your lip, and you want to put a plug of that leafy hooker, bro, that thing that'll get you hooked. That's Mother Nature's Cinnabon, brother. That's the Cinnabon of vegetables, tobacco leaf. And you put a plug of that up in your lip and get jacked out. You can do that over in Virginia. You'll see a 4-year-old with a little, lighting up an American spirit and lying about it. Onward.
Long-time podcast listener. I have a question for you. Long distance relationships. What's your advice on just making that work, making that the best of the situation? I'm in a long distance relationship. Things are going well. I think things could definitely always do better.
Okay, that long distance relationship, man. I've cheated. When I'm in a long distance relationship, I cheat. So, but I'm very loving on the phone. I'm very loving. I don't know why I would do that. To be honest, my whole life I've always done that. Anytime I've been in a long relationship, I lied and I cheated. And I'm not proud of it. And I know I had a choice. But in some weird way, I know this is going to sound, I'm not trying to let myself off the hook, but I don't know if I had a choice sometimes. Like I needed some type of attention. Not even really affection or sexual affection, but I needed attention. I need constantly, a lot of me knowing I'm okay came from other people, and it still does a lot of times. And I needed somebody, I needed to be able to, engage with someone to know that I was all right, to know that I was okay. They let me know that by they engaged with me. If they didn't engage with me, if they weren't, if I'm just sitting on the phone being sad because somebody else isn't around, the only way I knew I was going to be, and also I feel this need, like, sometimes I realize that, like, some of the reasons why I think I would do that a lot of times is because if a woman was interested in me, I felt a responsibility to be interested in them. Like I felt like if I didn't like somebody who liked me, then I was letting them down. Because I think so often in my growing up, I had liked girls and they didn't like me. And I took it personally for some reason, And so I felt like personally those girls were letting me down. And so then when I got a little bit older and girls would like me, I would feel like if I don't return this favor, reciprocate this in some way, even if it's just physically, then I'm letting them down. And I know how that feels, and I don't want to do that. And I know that's kind of fucked up thinking, and I'm not even... But yeah, sometimes I was like, oh man, sometimes I would hook up with, and it would have to be a girl that I was attracted to, or somewhat, there'd have to be some level of connection. But it would be like, man, if I don't, then I just didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings sometimes. That's crazy. I didn't want to hurt a woman's feelings. So I would engage with them, and do sexual engagement of some type, touching or caressing or something, or just watch somebody eat a damn Cadbury egg and get that British drip, bruh. Get that sweet drip drop. But long distance relationships, dude, usually, it's a lot of times you'd listen to songs that remind you of them and cry. You would talk on the phone all the time. Dude, back in the day, think about it, you wouldn't see somebody for months, 6 months, maybe 9 months. You'd write them letters, you get over there, and fucking they don't even live there anymore. And it's just a couple of new neighbors that have been reading all the letters you wrote them. And they're like, damn, you sound like a real pussy, buddy. It's just, times are so different now. We have so much connection. It's like, but it's not like really a deep connection. But we have so much like voice and video ability that you can always be kind of right there with somebody in a lot of ways. You don't really get a chance to miss someone like you used to. When I was young, you would miss somebody. Man, you wouldn't, because there wasn't so much constant connection. Man, if you saw somebody walk by, you might fucking never see them again. Or if there was no way to just reach out and touch everybody. So, man, when your girlfriend left town or when you left, man, for me sometimes it was so heartbreaking. God. So long distance was real tough. I'd be crying and shit, but then as soon as I got off the phone, I'll be up to no good, looking for leg and that, you know, looking for a little bit of that low mouth, bro. You know what I'm saying? That damp hoo-hoo. You know, that miscellaneous, you know what I'm saying? That soft, that damp wallet, that damp body wallet, and that scooter. This episode is brought to you by Bidelegance. And if we're talking about body, let's talk about Bidelegance. Bidelegance's natural cleansing foam brings you the luxury and elegance of a bidet with the convenience of toilet paper. You can apply Bidelegance moisturizing cleansing foam to toilet paper and to wet, clean, and dry your private areas, both front and back. So you got that back, you got that front shooter, you got that front holster, whatever you got. You can do it all with Bidelegance. Clean up your plumbing areas, get tight, get damp, and then get tight. It's better than both dry and wet toilet paper. It's better than wet wipes. You can control how much moisture is on that hitter. The Amazon review from a TPW listener, Marissa, says 5 out of 5 stars. Actual elegance. This is February 14th, 2019. So obviously it was Valentine's and she was trying to shine up, them body parts. I purchased this product due to Theo Von recommending this to me on his podcast this past weekend. He said if I couldn't afford a bidet, this would be the next best option, and I can't afford a bidet. Well, I currently rent my residence, and I don't think my landlord or the HOA would be happy with me installing one. Yeah, or you could always hire one of them fucking fancy lizards off the internet to just spit water right at you, at those low tanks, you know, at that ovary canal. Plus, my bathroom is tiny, and I would not have anywhere to put it unless I pulled out the shower, maybe. Anyway, this lady's thinking too much into it, I think. But she says, anyway, I am cleaner than ever. Thanks, Bidelegance and Theo Von. And that's a real thing from Marissa. And I'm letting you know Bidelegance is available right now on Amazon.com for 10% off and free shipping. Use promo code 10TheoVon, all in a row. That's 10% off and free shipping using the number 1, the number 0, Theo Von, or 10 Theo Von. The number 10 Theo Von at Amazon.com. Bidelegance. Let's take a couple more calls. Happy Easter to you guys. I hope your day was beautiful. You know, I hope you had some peace. I hope you were able to give an extra hug to somebody. You know, sometimes we don't realize the power of human touch, really. And of saying somebody's name, you know, one thing I liked at the church, I went to the church service this weekend, and the man said, when you say someone's name, it's different. You ever notice that if you're loved one, if you have a loved one, a boyfriend, a girlfriend or something, or, you know, one of the mixed crotch bad boys, you feel me? Somebody got that ginger snap, that sugar lizard. And if somebody says, you know, a lot of times your significant other, you talk to them all the time, but you never say their name. You know, and this preacher, this sermonist, he was talking about just the value in saying someone's name and letting them know, them personally, letting them know, identifying them as a actual person, recognizing them by their name. And I noticed that when somebody I care about or something says, hey, Theo, you know, I feel this way. Or somebody, they had this dude in my neighborhood, Thomas, right? And his dude in this crazy family, his last name Liquor, right? Licker, not like the booze. And what the fuck was I talking about? I don't know, man. All right, let's take another call, dude. The hotline is 985-664-9503. Here we go.
Hi, Theo. My name is Sean. First of all,
thank you for calling in, Sean. Onward.
Happy Easter. Hope everything's going well with you. I was calling because just been having some feelings a lot lately. You know, I kind of grew up for a long time in Hispanic culture in the South. You know, my biological father's Mexican. And
well, El Dia de los Domingos. What is Happy Easter in Spanish? Let me see. Happy Easter in Spanish. Feliz Pascuas. Feliz Pascuas. So, Feliz Pascuas to you, my friend. Onward.
Now I've been moving around the South and going a whole bunch of places and being further and further taken away from what I got used to in that Hispanic culture over around Arizona and Texas and stuff. Now I'm living in North Carolina and it's just getting a little bit different and hard to try to connect. And I was wondering if you had any sort of advice on that, seeing that, you're good Louisiana boy going over there to LA and that cultural difference is just so different. How do you feel about having that big, huge change where, down in Louisiana, you have all that good old Southern culture, and then going over to LA where you have just about every other culture in the world besides the Southern culture. I just want to see your opinion on how maybe you deal with those kinds of differences.
Well, thank you for calling, man, and that's a nice question. Yeah, I think that cultural stuff is tough. I even realized it coming back this weekend. People, some of the things people say or behave the way they are, I don't really judge. I'm grateful where I've come from. I'm grateful from the place that I'm from. And I try to take a little bit of that with me into LA, but LA isn't really accepting. Like, they say they're accepting of a lot of things, but they're not accepting of a lot of, or I don't find in LA there's a ton of acceptance for, or right now maybe, and some of it could be just political climate, that even a Southern accent, everybody immediately, looks at you like, oh, you're racist or you're ignorant. You can't, you have to use a couple calculators. You got to call somebody if there's math or something. You don't do recipes because they have math in them. People think all of that kind of stuff. That you probably fuck somebody that that you're that's you shouldn't be, doing sex with and stuff like that. But I try to take some of my heritage with me. I mean, even down to my father grew up in Nicaragua and, moved here when he was 12 into the United States. And when I was young, he would always talk in Spanish, and he would talk about Central America, and he would, and once he passed away, a lot of that stuff left my whole universe. So I just was in the South. I was just that white boy, that poor white treasure, baby. That's what I call myself, some poor white treasure, baby. And I was, and I just loved it. I kind of loved a little bit of the world. I mean, there was a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of, sorry. A lot of Southern culture, the food, the vibes, the bigger hugs and much deeper laughs. Your laughs are a lot heartier. And then I go out to LA, and a lot of that I felt honestly ashamed to I feel like I got judged because of it. And I wish I wouldn't have. Now I'm just trying to be myself. I'm just trying to get closer and closer to being myself. And sometimes I don't even know who that is. But, growing up, like, my brother had darker skin. My brother has real olive skin, and people would call him name. People call him, spick. People would call him sometimes, and I'm not trying to use racial slurs here, but I'm just telling you, I'm not going to tell you what happened. Or they would call him dark chink. Sometimes people would say dark chink. And so, I don't even know what I'm talking about, dude. How do I take my heritage with me? Well, it's always in me. It's always in me, man. I know no matter what, when I'm walking around in Los Angeles or I'm in these places and people are being funny, I know that I can hear just as funny a conversation, almost just sitting around a plate of crawfish like I did this weekend here in Louisiana. I know that I realized heavily this weekend that the stories you hear just from anybody just sitting around have so much better characters than half these characters that get created out in Hollywood in that world. So I just, a lot of it, I just keep a little bit. It's kind of a twinkle in my eye these days where I just know that I have a plethora of gasoline in my tank that other people, that they can't affect. Now, some things they do change in me a little bit, where I adapt more to like healthier foods sometimes, or like physical fitness. It's constant out in LA. There's always places to do any type of physical fitness. So it's like, and I'll change a little bit, but I'll never let myself really change. And I think one thing you can look forward to is there's a lot more Mexican culture coming into the U.S. There's a lot more in America. So I think no matter where you are, more of it will catch up with you over time. And you can be a beacon for that kind of thing. There's a lot of great similarities between like the South and Mexican culture. There's like a lot of religious similarities. Family is very important. A lot of great food, a lot of traditional recipes, a lot of bad dancing, pistolas, guns. So I think you're in a good spot, man. I think you're in a good spot. And I would just say don't be ashamed of it. For a long time, I was ashamed to tell people that my father's from Nicaragua. And now I'm not ashamed of that. I'm just not ashamed of it anymore. Because some people maybe said stuff when I was young that made me feel ashamed of it, like, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for it now. So I think you sound like you're going to be fine, man. Just keep your head up and be a little bit Mexican if you can every now and then, Put on that fucking sombrero and pull out that pistola, bruh, Fucking take a donkey to work, dog. You know what I'm saying? Fucking live life, baby. And be that bad boy and make fun of it. Have fun. Dude, it's so funny. You get to be if you wanted to be, you could be a red Mexican. You could make up a character. You're that red Mexican. I hope that's not offensive. I don't really like the term redneck that much, but anyway, dude, I think you got two great cultures stuck inside of you. So I don't know if there's a problem at all. I think it might be just a perspective. So gang, brother. You know what I'm saying? Any gang, bruh. You could be you could do square dancing or fucking MS-13, bro. You got it in you. Let's take another call here. Here we go.
What up, Theo? This is Jordan Sapp out of Owensboro, Kentucky. Gang. This is
Owensboro, Kentucky, man. That's I've been over there in Kentucky, and that's kind of a wild area, dude. Owensboro, I want to say, and I'm not judging, man. I want to say it's one of the poorest places in America. Owensboro, Kentucky. I think. Anyway. Yeah, they just have a lot of poverty there, man. So, amen to you, man, for growing up in those types of environments. I know it's really, it can be tough sometimes. Let's hear more. Onward.
I'm a long-time listener, first-time caller, and you know what I mean? I've been hooping a lot. I like to play basketball in my spare time.
Oh, hooping. Okay, I thought you were talking about training dolphins or something, or training some of those jumping animals. Onward.
And I've come across a lot of racial discrepancies in terms of like black people coming at me sideways just because of the color of my skin. And like I'm not racist. I'm never one to like dish that out. But I was just wondering, like, how do you think I should handle that situation when I'm being like unfairly like discriminated off the color of my skin as a white person? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think, you handle it the way anybody can. I mean, these days, the biggest thing is that people get a video and they post it on a social media and they let other people let that person know that it's almost like you're judged by like a jury, not even of your peers, but just judged by humanity. Humanity lets you know what's right or what's wrong. And yeah, man, look, racism happens every way these days. In my, it happens every way. And a lot of times in the media, they don't like to say that, but it really does. And I think it happens less overall. And I think there's ways that it happens that we don't even see it happening. Ways that we judge or ways that we look or experiences that we had as a child where you look at somebody now and you're like, damn, bro, that dude. You might see a dude who you might see like, you might see a black guy late at night and get scared, or you might see a fucking white dude at the park with a backpack on and a beard and you might think he's going to fucking molest you or something, but he's just doing Frisbee golf. You know, it's just, you know, there's all types of, sometimes we just have things that are ingrained in us from maybe a certain experience, maybe, you know, that kind of stuff. But, fuck, man, I don't even know what I'm talking about. But I think all that kind of stuff happens every ways. And I'll call people out about it, man. You know, I called the other day, who did I call? Some guy was going off about really off about Jewish stuff. And I was like, dude, you're a Jewish supremacist, man. You're a Jewish supremacist, this guy was. Or somebody, you know, could be a black supremacist. Somebody could be a white. Like, I don't think it's wrong for anybody to want to support their own culture or to feel comfortable or navigate within the worlds of their own skin tone or their own voice, their own, you know, someone who has speaks the same language. Some of those things are real innate and natural. But yeah, and I think it's okay to joke around. Like if these people are coming at you a little bit sideways and they're joking with you, then you could be being too sensitive. But yeah, I mean, look, people can be racist in every direction. How do you handle that? I think you just call them out. You know, call them out. In some places, it's easier to have those conversations than in other places. You know, but yeah, I think you blast them out, man. If somebody's coming at you, I don't care what color they are or you are or anything. Or if they got a fucking 2 legs and you got no legs or whatever, fuck them if they coming at you hard. You know, call them out, dude. Or you could go black body, bro. If they getting real bad at you, go black body. You know what I'm saying? Show up at the court black body. And paint yourself chocolate from the neck down and get and fucking drop 20 on them, bro. Drop a triple-double, son. Half a can of Sherwin-Williams and daddy's fucking hitting them T-dubs, baby, gang. But keep your head up over there in Owensboro, man. I know life's not easy sometimes, and that's one of the, it says here on the internet, that's one of the counties that has it really tough sometimes, so. What else, man? I wanted to get into some more things, but I will say Happy Easter, Felices Pascuas, Happy Paso. That's how my Jewish friends, I realize, say Passover. They say Happy Paso. So if you had any of those things, man, then I hope it was great. And I hope it was a good time. And what else, dude? That's all, man. Let's get through it. I got to edit this thing and put it up. And look, Easter's a time for its new things. It's spring cleaning, you know. I mean, it's a time to return. It's a time to start over. You know, if you've been doing something wrong, you can let it go and do it totally from a new place. You know, that first caller, this guy called in.
Hey, Theo, this is Dana Finkley calling. Hey, man, you answered my phone call on the podcast Don't Move to Portland, and you wished that life has a new experience for me, man. And it really has. Since then, I've gotten my license back. I just got back into school. I'm throwing a fundraiser.
Yeah, that guy, he's got his birthday coming up. And, you know, he's having a new experience. It don't have anything to do with the fact that he called this podcast or anything like that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, hey, the fucking guy's having a new experience. And I want some new experiences sometimes. You know, I've been doing good with the masty, bro. With that fucking, you know, that hand hockey, bro, that masturbation. And then I fell out. A week and a half ago, I fell out and daddy was spraying out and doing it all, bro. And dropping DNA, dude. I could have drowned a fucking medium-sized bird with how much I sprayed out. But now I'm back on the track. I'm staying off the pornography and I'm feeling good. And I'm just hoping that I have a new experience. And I know that I can. I know I can have a new experience. You know, and sometimes it's risky. But sometimes it's, I don't know. Dude, I don't even know, man. Sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about today, or it's been kind of a long week. It's been a long day. It's been a little bit of an emotional day, too. You know, just family here and people getting older and, you know, my own nieces and nephews getting older and they don't, you know, some of the games that they loved, you know, when I saw them 6 months ago, they don't even remember. They don't know about it anymore. And so I know this sounds kind of lame, but some of the envisions I have in my head of us, spending time together doing something, they're not even into those things anymore. They don't even give a fuck. So, I don't know. I guess I had some like little expectations of things we would be able to do for fun, and they don't like to do those things, or they don't even care about hanging out with me anymore, in certain moments and instances, or so it's, I don't know, it feels sad that I'm fucking bummed out that, little kids don't think I'm neat or whatever, or they don't, but fucking whatever, man. It's not a big thing, but it's just, it's just life. You go or you go visit a family member and you have ideas in your head, oh, it's going to be like this, it's going to be like that, and then they're real busy, or they have something going on you didn't expect, or, somebody got sick or somebody canceled, said they couldn't come, and it's just, it's life is all it is. It's life. But at the end of the day, I think it's the best thing going. Happy Easter to you, and you guys be good to yourselves. I know that you deserve it, and I'm happy to be here with you today. Gang, gang, baby. Is still pretty bad, man. Happy Easter to you guys. I love you. I'll see you this weekend in West Palm Beach, and then the following weekend in New York, and some new tour dates should be coming out. I think next week we'll have some new cities that we're dropping, and I'm grateful. I hope you're able to find some things you're grateful for, find some gratitude, and because those things always help power me. When I'm really able to feel grateful for something that's going on, it just makes the rest of my life lighter. If my brain is gonna work so hard to stack so many things on the side of the scale to weigh me down, I should give equal amount of time to weigh. So putting some things on the side of the scale to lighten me up, and it's usually gratitude that does that for me. But I'm not talking at you. I'm kind of just trying to remind myself as well. But be good to yourselves, man. I know you deserve it, gang.